Hello, welcome to Painting with Megan. So we will be creating something like this. Of course, with art, nothing is ever going to be exactly like another, and that's sort of the beauty of it. Everyone's will look slightly different, but they are all going to look excellent, I am sure. So let's start with the supplies you'll need. So you would need a canvas, although feel free to use any other platform. You can use Bristol board, construction paper, whatever you have handy. I'm sure will do the trick. And then I will be using paint, but again, other mediums could work. You can use pencil crayon, you can use crayons, marker, whatever you feel comfortable with, whatever you have on hand. But I will be using tempera paint. I don't know if that's backwards, but there's also other mediums of paint. Acrylic would work, whatever you have on hand. But you only need the primary colors: red, blue, yellow, and white and black. So all of these things are available for you at your local Dollarama. I can assure you of that. As well, grab something to be your paint palette. So for me, I'm using this KFC paper plate. And grab something like a paper towel to wipe your fingers off when we need to switch colors. And later on, you will also need something small like a toothpick, or if some of you have really tiny fingers, maybe you don't need any tools at all. But let's get started. So, as you see, there is this nice background. This is what we're going to start with. Now, on this painting, I use blue, but you can feel free to use any color your heart desires. So I think for this new one, I'm going to use yellow. So for this, I'm just going to put it right on the canvas right here. Just slather some on there like that. And then I am going to, with my finger, just make a nice arc. Woo! Make sure you're wearing paint-safe clothes because much like I just did, there might be some splatter. The nice thing about this kind of paint, though, is that it should come off pretty nicely in the wash, but just in case, we don't want to ruin any of our best clothes. I don't think our moms and dads would like that very much. All right, so get that all nice. If you want, it's also nice to kind of wrap your paint around the canvas so that the picture continues, so to speak. So it doesn't just abruptly end at the corners. It kind of carries around the edge into the border. It's not necessary, but it just kind of carries over nicely that way. All right, so we have our rough outline here. Now, like I said, you only need your primary colors in white and black. However, if you have other colors accessible to you, this part might become a little bit easier for you than it would be for the rest of us. But for those of us that only have access to primary colors, there is green here, as you can see. The rind is green. So this is when you're going to take your plate. You're going to put some yellow. And you are going to put some blue. And for anyone that knows a little bit about the science behind colors, yellow and blue, when mixed together, become green. And based off of how much yellow and how much blue you put on, you'll get different shades and whatnot. But this is my light green that I've just created. So I want you all to do that. It's looking great so far. You guys are doing great. And you're just going to go right underneath your border, and you're going to do a nice thinner arc there, but right below your border. You don't want to make it too thick because then you need room for the actual red of the watermelon. All right. And if you had used any color other than blue or yellow for your black background, that would have been a good time to wipe your finger off on the paper towel too. I did not, just because I was already working with yellow, which I was mixing in. If you wanted a purple background, that is blue and red mixed. And if you wanted orange, that is red and yellow. And of course, if you add white, it gets a lighter shade, etc. So we have our background and we have our rind. Now I am going to wipe my finger off, and we are going to start in with the red. So again, with the red, I'm just going to pour some right on the canvas, just like that, but in the bottom corner this time. So as you can see on the done one here, the bottom part is a dark red, and then as we get closer to the rind, it becomes lighter. So, whoops, I dripped on my floor. It's okay. So, we are going to put the red, mix it all the way up. This is a messy craft, but it is a lot of fun. I hope no moms and dads are getting upset here. All right, so as I mix, we're getting further up, closer to the rind of the watermelon. And again, I'm going all the way up along the edges just for consistency. All right, so now, as you're going further up, I'm running out of red here. I'm going to add more red here, but up at the right, I'm going to add white. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to slowly blend them so that you get that nice faded red to pink to white effect. All right, so let's do that now. Add a little bit more red. There we go. And then I'm going to add my white. There we go. So it looks something like this. And now I'm just going to slowly blend up towards the green. And you see as I mix, you slowly get lighter, lighter, until it's pink and then white. All right. Now to avoid smearing into the green, you can take a pause and kind of wait for it to dry. I did not do that, but that's okay. Every piece of art is a little bit different. All right. Perfect. You guys are doing great. Let me see what you have so far. Nice. I like it. All right. So there we go. We have that blended effect. I'm going to mix a little bit more red further up just because we want the watermelon to look nice and juicy, right? And we all know the red is the juicy part. All right. So not too bad. I'm just going to scoop some of the red paint I dropped on my kitchen table and add a little bit more just up at the top there. So it's a slower fade. Beautiful. How's that looking? Yep, pretty similar, right? All right, so now I'm sure you can tell there is one final touch left to add to our watermelons, and that is these black seeds. This is where the toothpick comes in, or if you have very tiny fingers or you want to use your fingernail, whatever small tool you have at your disposal should do the trick. So let me just readjust here. I'm going to put some black on my paper plate here. I'm going to grab my toothpick and I'm just going to dip it in the black so you can see like that. And then I'm just going to add little tiny seeds. Those are kind of crooked. It's hard to do it facing away from me, but let me quickly add some and then I'll show you. Just hang on. So the nice thing about it is if the paint is still a little bit wet and you get one that's kind of smeared like that, you just take your finger and whoop, look at that. All of a sudden it's red again. Now, that being said, if you wait for it to dry, then it'll probably be easier on some level too, but see, we're working our seeds all the way up. Let me just quickly do a few more for you, and you're working your way out on the angle that the watermelon is facing. And you should be able to do a few seeds with every dip of the paint with your toothpick here. Let me see, I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, dip. Yeah, so you should be able to do a few here. All right, I'm gonna do a couple more. 1, 2, 3. And try to make them kind of scattered. The more scattered they are, the less pattern, I guess, the more realistic it is, because nature doesn't always grow in a perfect pattern. All right, so there it is. All right, there's the finished product. Let me see yours. That is awesome. So here's the original and here's the recreation. My seeds are a little wonky on this one, but that's okay. I'm sure you'll give me grace. All right, well, that has been the paint tutorial with Megan. I hope you enjoyed it. Feel free to rewatch, to pause, to go back, and enjoy this as many times as you please. And enjoy your time with family. Take care. Bye.